Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be breaking down the parva loop from my Naples loop kit. And this loop is pretty cool, it has a kind of Cubeatz sound to it. So yeah, let's get into it. First of all, here's what it sounds like. So the first thing I started with was this guitar that I recorded. I recorded two different guitars on top of each other. So the first one sounds like this. This one is actually pitched down quite a bit, so 700 cents. So originally it sounded like this. So I played this really high up on the guitar, so I could kind of bend the notes while I was playing it, and it gave it that very detuned sound to it. And for the effects for this, I added an EQ and a reverb to it. And for the chord progression for this, it's basically just a D minor chord for the first 3 bars. And for the last one, I played a G minor chord. And then moving on to the second guitar, I kind of just played some notes on top of it to complement the first part. And it sounds like this. So together you have this. And for the effects for this one, the only thing I added was a reverb. Now once I had this, I wanted to add a recorder on top of it. So I added this recorder from Contact called Trinity Recorder. And I wrote this melody right here. Now the cool thing about this recorder is that it actually has a poly mode to it. That means that you can play multiple notes on top of each other, which usually is not the case with the flute. You can only play one note at a time. This allows you to kind of play chords. So without it, it would sound something like this probably. Which just doesn't sound as interesting. And here I basically follow the same chord progression, just a D minor chord, then D minor, and then G minor. And for the effects for this, only thing I added was an EQ, since it didn't really need anything else. Now the last thing I added was this kind of bell, which sounds like this. And this is just a Celesta from Mallet Flux, but what I did was I went into the effects tab and I just turned off the reverb completely, so it will sound a bit more dry. And for the melody for this, I didn't really want it to stand out too much, just to be in the background. So again, I just kind of followed the notes of the chords. So the first chord is again the D minor. I used the D, the F, the A, and I also added the E because it's the part of the D minor add 9 chord. And then for the last parts, I did the G minor, but I also added the E, which makes it a G minor 6. And for the effects for this, I added a detune, pretty heavy detune to it, just to have that little wobbly vibrato vibe to it. And all together, they sound like this. Then lastly, I exported it all out as one sample, and I pitched it down 700 cents. And now it sounds like this. So yeah, that's the melody. I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you learned something new, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.